The wait is over and it's finally here. I honestly wasn't really excited to watch this because I didn't really feel the trailers and I wasn't seeing Neo. It was more like I was seeing John Wick. It's just the look. Yeah. But then I did watch it and welcome to my Matrix Resurrections movie review. Is it Resurrections? Yeah. And listen guys, there will be some mild spoilers here, but nothing that's going to ruin your viewing experience. No, I can promise you if your viewing experience is not great, it's not because of anything I said in this video. Yeah, it's because of other stuff. And listen, The Matrix, the first one, was an absolutely iconic film. Dude, that thing, it changed everything. And just groundbreaking in countless ways. Matrix Reloaded, it was cool. There were definitely some awesome scenes, but it did start to get a bit overly complicated, and it was a big drop-off from the original. Matrix Revelations is just too far gone at that point. Like, the rabbit hole got less fun the deeper we went in this entire story. Wrapping up the then trilogy in an, is it fair to say, unsatisfactory way? Yeah. And at the end, all I did was really miss the original. Was I looking for a part 4? Maybe a few years ago. But if it gives the story a different ending than Revelations, sign me up, dude. Why not? And in defense of this film, Bella? Is it Matrix Resurrection or Resurrections? And in defense of Matrix Resurrections, it's gotta be tough revisiting this world. Because the reality is, The Matrix has been copied in so many films. The look, the stunts, freaking everything. Going back to it can easily be viewed as parody. It's Resurrections, sweetheart. And without going into detail right from the start, The Matrix Resurrections does begin to offer us something more back to the basics, but at the same time very fresh and new. And something it really does start to do is go like all meta and like self-aware, where somebody even brings up like the studio Warner Brothers, and I couldn't help but think about 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street when they're talking to the captain. Hilarious. Here, not so much funny, but definitely self-aware. And I kind of appreciate the creative script in this area. Brings up how you can lose your way in sequels, go back to like the original stuff. And yeah, I feel you and I like it. It's all honestly solid to me here. And it's when the movie really shines, in my opinion, because it's creative. As for the actors, Keanu Reeves comes back. He's great, dude. Freaking love the guy. Carrie-Anne Moss, she's cool. They're just not really together for a long time. It's build up and you appreciate it. But for most of the movie, we get Keanu Reeves and a bunch of other people, which aren't bad people. Like, I'd say hi to them if I saw them on the street, but they're just, yeah, it's not the old crew. And that brings me into something that's glaring here, and that's 2 actors that didn't return. Lawrence Fishburne was not invited back. They wanted to go a different route by, I forget his name, but he's a really great actor. That guy, yeah. And he does a solid job, actually. But it would have been nice to see Lawrence Fishburne with Keanu Reeves. Then there's the glaring issue to me. Hugo Weaving not being in this film. The guy who plays Agent Smith, he is missed here. And I'm not giving anything away that wasn't in the trailer. But we do have Agent Smith. It's just played by another guy. And he's not even in the same outfit. Like, he's in like jeans and sneakers. And it's like, hey, I'm Agent Smith now. And I'm like, are you guys even trying? I looked up why Hugo Weaving wasn't in the film. And it was actually kind of annoying. Lana Wachowski, the writer and director, and him were in talks, and he was coming aboard. He wanted to do this, but he was in the middle of doing theater, and there were just a few dates that he needed just kind of moved a little bit, and she didn't even respond. No hard feelings. He's still like, I respect her. Everything's great. That's fine. I appreciate, and I hope that they have success. But he was ready to sign on the dotted line, and she's like, nope, not changing my dates. And sorry, well, guess what, dude? This movie seriously freaking suffered without him. Because you can't have Neo without Agent Smith, dude, and you can see it here. It's glaringly missing. And it does. This is where you start to realize this doesn't feel like a Matrix movie. It's not a horrible film, but it doesn't feel like a Matrix movie. It doesn't. And what we have are people that just kind of act like imitations. Agent Smith guy, he doesn't even do a good Hugo Weaving impression. He's not a bad actor. It's just, dude, Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith is too iconic. The action here is just like the original. Somersaults in the air, shooting the guns, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, which was groundbreaking in 1999. It's 2021, dude. And yeah, it's still cool to see, but I saw the same moves in 10 movies last year. And granted, it does go to show how ahead of the original films were, how ahead they were of their time. That doesn't help things here. Even the set pieces, there's nothing really like extravagant. Like freaking, there is no highway scene from Matrix Reloaded. No. There's no, wow, that's mind-blowing if you've seen the original 3, especially in theaters. And speaking of that, something I really miss here is that like film grain feel. This is so clear and nice digital looking. It feels like a movie released more by Netflix or something like a streaming service studio because it's so clean, as opposed to like a major motion picture that just has that like film to it, if you know what I'm talking about. And listen, I was invested in the third act. I wanted to see how the movie ended. And they did try to do some new stuff, including a really weird decision made that I don't think this is going to hurt your viewing experience. So I'm just going to share it because I thought it was freaking weird. You know, people are just taken over by the Matrix and they just do whatever it wants them to do. Well, people are like waking up from their beds and are like walking away from their spouses and just jumping out windows to like, you know, become bombs or something. And it's just, I guess they were trying to be like, oh, look how cool and extreme this is. But to me, this came across as more like morbid and disturbing. Like, you want me to be like, that's awesome. And I'm more like thinking about 9/11 victims. Not sure if that's what you were going for, but yeah. So yeah, I know this is a Matrix movie, but something it just felt off. No spoiler here, but in the original Matrix, when it ends with that really badass Rage Against the Machine song. This actually does the same thing, except it's performed by a horrendous cover band. It's the song, but performed in a much worse way, an imitation. And maybe that was done on purpose because this is a movie that is self-aware. So yeah, maybe it does fit. So there's that. And Matrix Resurrections is the definition of And by all means, dude, if you're a fan and you love this movie, congrats, dude. I'm not gonna like bash you for that. Good job. I just didn't. And I'm super glad I saw this in HBO Max instead of like paying for it with popcorn and everything. Not to tell people not to go to the theater. By all means, go. But maybe you should watch Spider-Man instead. Because yeah, the real hero here is HBO Max. Thank you, guys. So guys, what do you think about Matrix Resurrections? Let me know in the comments. And please like, subscribe, and whatever, all the stuff that I have. And thanks for watching.